This is Lapworth Junction. One way leads to Stratford-on-Avon and the other to Birmingham. There's a turn here onto a connecting arm that leads to the Grand Union Canal, Kingswood Junction. It's where we left you at the end of the last vlog. Birmingham one way and Warwick and eventually London the other. This was a popular route for the working boatmen and women, taking goods and materials from one town to another. But it was the main route for Cadbury's, the chocolate manufacturer. At its height, it had a fleet of a dozen boats and consisted of both horse-drawn boats for transporting fresh milk from local farms and 9 long-distance motorboats for carrying chocolate to London and sugar from Liverpool. All were numbered rather than named, though some were informally referred to by names such as Bourneville or Mendip. For 30 years, between 1948 and 1978, this 70-foot boat regularly took the 14-hour trip that wound through the heart of the Midlands. The trip consisted of 50 locks along the way to deliver chocolate crumb from the dairy to Cadbury's at Bourneville. At Kingswood Junction, on a wind-up sound box, Rosie Mellor tells her story as a woman working the boats at the time.
Mrs. Mellor, they call me, or Rosie for short, when we're chugging past it every day, moving malt, crumb and spice, cocoa beans, neat and nice, to make chocolates the Cadbury's way. It's my husband's the captain, though we take it in turn, and with Cadbury's rule book, at least I'm paid what I earn. That's a little unusual. Boaters' wives work for free around locks, holds and cabin, but that's all wrong to me. See, it's only fair, really, we wives share the work, and from sunrise to sunset, you'll not see us shirk. Now we're out in all weathers most days of the year, from the Thames up to Bourneville, the tillers we steer. For some 30-odd years now, we've plied up and down, whereas life can't be bettered in city or town. That's why Charlie and me, thanks to Cadbury's trays, hope to travel canals till the end of our days.
The major flight of locks on this section of the Grand Union Canal is called the Hatton Flight. The Hatton Locks were originally part of the Warwick and Birmingham Canal, which officially opened for trade in March 1800. The primary purpose of the canal was to transport locally mined coal to the factories and power stations of the Black Country, serving as a vital trade link between the Midlands and London. The original locks were narrow, designed for single narrowboats. Boaters referred to the steep, physically demanding ascent through the flight as the stairway to heaven. By the early 20th century, competition from rail and road transport was a serious threat to the canal's viability. In 1929, the Grand Union Canal Company took over the entire route from a chain of 8 different companies and renamed it the Grand Union Canal. In order to compete, the company began a major modernisation programme. The narrow locks at Hatton were converted into weirs, and new wider locks were built alongside them between 1932 and 1934. The key aspects of this project included widening the locks to 15 feet to accommodate 2 narrowboats side by side or wide beam barges, allowing twice the cargo to pass through each lock, the use of concrete, a revolutionary material in canal construction at the time. A workforce of over 1,000 men completed the project in just 2 years, and the new locks were officially opened by Prince George, Duke of Kent, in October 1934. Our location would be by Lock 3 at the top, where one of the single locks has now been leased as a dry dock for boat blacking and maintenance. The dry dock we'd be in is in the shadow of the Hatton Arms Hotel, and what was once a single lock is now used as a waiting area. Going down. Here we are at the dry dock at Hatton. Just checking to see if there's any issues. We won't be able to see anything until we get the jet wash on that green algae stuff. All okay, dear?
Yes. I'm just looking for the anodes.
It should be all right, actually.
You can't see anything until
it's been jet washed.
Until it's been jet washed.
No. So this is where we are now then. Oh, there we go. Nothing much wrong with that. And there's the front. There's the third anode. We've also got, I don't know if I'm going to be able to show you them later, but we have got anodes underneath. And that's the bow thruster tube that you can see. There should be an anode in there as well. You wouldn't believe from looking at it, but it's 30 degrees and it's quite hot here. But we've got everything we need. There's a tap nearby. We can empty the Elsan over at the Canal and River Trust facilities. And of course, especially for Jan, we're plugged up into the mains electricity, which can only mean one thing. Go on then.
Highlight of the week. The gunnels are on. Look at our lights. Look at our lights. Let's put all the lights on. Yay, disco.
It only takes 240 volts for Jan to be happy. Here she is then after the first coat. Gonna have 2 more coats put on today. Oh hello, madam's out there enjoying the sunshine. Already looking smarter. And that's blacked up to the gunnels. I'm going to do the top part of the gunnel in I forgot what it's called now. Safe paint. It's got bits in it, I think. Grit. So it stops you slipping. Anti-slip paint, there we go, that's what it should be called.
Look who I found out here.
What?
Mr. Lacey. What are you doing in the sunshine?
Painting.
Painting. So what have we had done? We've had 3 coats of blacking done. And now we're going to be here till at least Monday.
Yeah.
So we can all dry out. And he's now painting the top of the gunnels. We've had it blacked up to the gunnels.
Yeah.
And then what are you going to do? After you've blacked it?
I'll just put a layer of black in. I'm just putting a layer of blacking on here because it's had nothing up, and I need to just cover the welds because the weld is where it gets rusty. So I've treated that weeks ago, and now I'll put some masking tape on to mask off that edge.
And then what are you going to put on top of the gunnels?
On top of this coat of blacking will be an anti-slip paint, so that'll go on with a roller. So
yay!
So go like that.
So I don't break my neck.
Yeah, and we'll cover that all the way down to the front of the boat as well.
That is what he's hoping to do. He has all the enthusiasm of a DIY person.
None of the skill.
But sometimes his skills go a little bit...
I'm hoping this masking tape has...
I can't hear you, darling.
I'm hoping this masking tape has given me a straight line.
Oh, well, we'll wait and see, shall we? Oh, you've got... Oh, look at his little wellies. He's bought them specially. Because the other side is there's still flowing water.
I've just cleaned off a bird poo here, so I just need to reapply some masking tape to that point there.
Right, I'm going to leave you to it. Speak to you later.
I did promise earlier to show you the anode underneath the boat, and here it is.
Hello, Mr. Lacey.
Hello.
I've caught you again.
Huh?
What time is it? About 8:30?
Cool. Well, 26 degrees.
Oh, you got your little wellies on again?
Kinky boots.
Just a bit of water coming in there. And he's doing the tunnel bands. Oh, it's nice and cool now. Look at her. She looks smart. He's put the sand on the top of the gunnels now.
Anti-slip.
Yeah, the anti-slip. How's it going?
A bit hot, just going on a bit too thick. It's going to need one of that now.
It's been too hot today, hasn't it?
Yeah.
30 degrees?
31.
And We're in the dry dock. And there's the other little lock, I should say, that we'll be going back into when we have the engine serviced and the Jenny serviced. This is lock 4. And there's 3 up there. And then flipping loads down this way. Which I think we'll be doing. I don't think we're going to Stratford this time. Maybe in the spring. And there she is. And there he is. You're mumbling as usual.
The red's ready to go. And I've got to redo this black bit.
Right, I'll leave you to it.
And the following day, everything's dry and ready to go. A couple of days later, to make sure the blacking is all cured off, and it's time to leave the dry dock. Let the water in. And after 15 minutes, Joe and Ian take the last of the stop planks up. With the water now level, we can reverse out and carry on our journey. But because of all sorts of things that were happening, including the low water levels, our plans once again had changed. We'll explain. Well, that was the blacking done.
Yep, and a very good job was made of it, and I'm quite impressed with you.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, well, I was working under duress. Not under duress, address. I was working... The heat.
Don't
the heat
start. Yeah, it was very hot. That's all you have to say.
Yeah, so it was so hot because as you were putting the paint on, it was drying straight away. So I either did it first thing in the morning or last thing at night. First thing at the morning usually was the better time, wasn't it?
And where was I? I was under a tree in the shade reading.
You were somewhere reading out of the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all good now for another couple of 3 years. Shouldn't need to do anything with that.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. You did hear Jan mention something about going to Stratford-on-Avon, and truth be told, our plans have changed quite a few times this year because of the drought, because of the closures of locks and canals and sections of canals, especially in the Midlands, which is where we are at the moment. And we were going to go down to Stratford-on-Avon maybe do a little bit of the River Avon and then come back, because we have secured a winter mooring at Saltisford in the Arm.
Yeah.
The reason being is we want to be in the Midlands. We've spent 2 years.
Oh, over 2 years.
Over
up
2
north,
years.
it was lovely.
Yeah.
But we wanted to come down because our daughter is not far from us, probably an hour and 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've got a bit of a frog in my throat.
Kermit.
So, no.
But we've been here a few times and we like the atmosphere, we like the location, and we like the people here. So we thought, in for a penny, in for a pound, let's stay here over winter. Now, I know what you're going to say, well, that's you finished for cruising. Well, we've got one more vlog in a couple of weeks' time, which will be a little bit of cruising. Not a lot, because we could only go as far as the top of Radford Locks from here. So you'll see us coming down the last part of the Hatton flight. And then we'll progress a little bit further, and then as furthest we could go was the top of the bottom of the Radford Locks.
We've been loitering between the bottom of Hatton Flight and the bottom of Radford Locks. So Leamington Spa, Warwick. We've been hovering for 3 months.
Yeah.
We just, I know they were opened, but we daren't chance not being able to get back to our winter mooring.
Yeah.
So and it's been absolutely fine, and we've met Jenny and Pete on Momentous and various other people, and we've made new friends as well, haven't we?
Yeah. And funny enough, a lot of them are already here in the Arm. They were coming down here and they're doing exactly the same as us, loitering, because we're king and queen of loitering, obviously, as you know. So they've been loitering exactly as we've been doing, which has been going backwards and forwards, up and down the little moorings, the Tesco moorings, the Radford moorings, and then swinging around and coming back and doing it all over again. The downside of this particular section is there are 2 taps by the locks at Cape of Good Hope, but there aren't any bins, and there certainly isn't anywhere to empty an Elsan unless you go through the first of the Radford Locks, which we didn't want to do because, like Jan said, you might get stuck, and then we'd have to go through 11 locks to find a winning hole to turn around and come back. So that's the problem we've had. Thankfully, we've had the Arm here and let us use the facilities, and Warwickshire Narrowboats, we've been able to top up diesel and do everything from there as well.
They allow you to do it Warwick Narrowboats, Warwickshire Narrowboats. They allow you to empty your Elsan, but there is a charge, and you can't use their rubbish.
No.
We did at the bottom of Radford Locks. We moored up before the Winding Hill, and we took our trolley with 2 cassettes to the 3rd lock to empty them, and they spilt all in the trolley. How wonderful! And it took us about 50 minutes there and 50 minutes back.
What a pong that was.
It's all cleaned up and sorted now, but it's been a nightmare with that. So,
And you're probably thinking, well, that's it now, you're not going to be doing any cruising vlogs. Well, to be perfectly honest, it doesn't matter, does it? Because you'll watch other vloggers who are out cruising during the winter. You're just going to get different types of vlogs here. You're going to see a flavour of what it's like to moor up in an Arm over winter. And in a way, we've picked probably one of the best places to be, because Warwick is right on our doorstep, literally. It is a mile away from here, walk, or a bus ride.
There's loads going on in Warwick. We've already done the mop fair.
Mop fair, yeah.
Yeah, that was different.
So you'll have that coming up.
And there's Victorian evening, and we'll be going to Warwick Castle over Christmas, so that should be absolutely beautiful, hopefully. And where we're situated, we can get buses to Coventry, to Stratford-upon-Avon, we can get trains to London, and so we're in a prime place to do what we want to do without having a car.
Yeah, don't need a car. Because some marinas, including the Marina of Dreams, which we'd love to be at, but you need a car there, really, ideally, because there's no buses that go past. And it is a bit of a walk into the town, the village, I should say. But yeah, we'd have been there probably, don't know. But we're here, and like Jan said, we've got access to all sorts of facilities and attractions all sorts of things. Tons of history, as you can imagine. Warwick is an historic city. So there'll be loads to go at, and there's a lot of history connected with the canal, the River Avon and everything else. Talking of the River Avon, we put that on the back burner, as we said. So we were going to do that during the back end of the summer this year. We're now going to do that in the spring. So when we leave here, our first destination will be Lapworth Flight, and we'll go down into Stratford-on-Avon.
Thanks. How many's in Lapworth?
Oh, not a lot.
50?
Yeah, we're only going south.
Yeah.
And then we'll mosey on down the River Avon and go down to Gloucester, Tewkesbury and all that malarkey. So yeah, do some river cruising next year. So that should be quite exciting, I would think.
Yeah.
Yeah, back on the rivers. Well, that's it really then for this particular vlog. We've given you an insight into what we're going to be doing over the winter and the spring and summer of next year. Of course, it might all change.
Of course it will.
The locks may be closed again. The reservoirs are still down. So we still haven't had enough rain this year yet. Let's hope, fingers crossed, that during the winter and the early part of 2026 we have a bit more rain and fill those reservoirs back up. Anyway, in the meantime, if you enjoyed this particular vlog, don't forget to give us a thumbs up for a like. Subscribe to the channel, it's totally free to do so. And then when you have subscribed, press the bell icon.
Ding!
Oh, thank you, Janet. She's got a sore throat. YouTube will notify you next time we upload a vlog. In the meantime, thank you to everybody who's on Patreon. If you want to join them for some perks, the details are down below in the description. And the same thing if you want to join the channel. We've got channel members as well. And then there's also, you can buy us a coffee, which actually is a red wine.
Or a nice hot toddy for me at the moment.
Yeah, not a nice hot toddy.
Excuse me.
You can also hype this video apparently, although I've not seen it. And people have told me, you can't hype your videos, Tony. No idea. But there should be it's down somewhere along here, I have no idea where it is. There should be a hype button. Apparently it boosts our ratings. Don't know. Anyway, if you do that, thank you very much for all your support. In the meantime, stay safe. Happy cruising. Bye for now.
Bye.